Hundred here, 53, Wrath of Baal, blue team. We have two Lord Commissars. First up is Zeno, and we also have Asterix. These guys fight in melee combat, strong offense and support, begin with a refractor field, can also shoot their own fellas in the head to make them do more damage and stuff. This is the Armageddon Steel Legion elite scheme for Asterix. Alongside, the Tenso is an Apothecary support commander that fights in melee combat by default, begins with a targeted heal and a passive health regeneration, or a Legion of the Damned elite scheme on show, looking pretty cool. Flames and stuff. Red team then, Nooblord James is a plague champion, starts off range combat with a damage over time bolter, can get melee weapons, some decent utility and support, can build turrets and repair, but is very slow. Iron Warriors elite scheme. Alongside here, YZ as a Hive Tyrant, very durable commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed. Powerful offense, disruption and support, begins in melee combat with a basic synapse. He's trying to cap under scout fire, should be fine. And rounding us off here, their TodesKnopf is a Farseer support commander that fights in melee combat. Some powerful buffs, debuffs and control abilities. Looks like this is the Exodites elite scheme, recolored reddish. She's over on the east side against one of those Commissars. Guide on the Dire Avengers there, improving their range and damage, shooting the crap out of that Sentinel. Look at that. Lord Commissar a bit slow to react, but here he comes. Farseer took a lot of damage coming in, gets a good special and then gets out. And they get the Sentinel. They do get the Sentinel. It just got the ground and pound. And then goes down. Bad news for Zeno early on. Hive Tyrant pushing through the mid. Apothecary can't do a whole lot, I don't think, against this first engagement with a Hive Tyrant there to tie up the tactical marines so easily. He's gone for double Hormagaunts in a relatively tight map. That might be a mistake. Devastator's up surely for the Tenso, you would think. Already got shotguns up, which I think is the right play. Get the shotguns before the Devastators, might help you get an early squad wipe. The shotgun blast and then kind of force melee combat kind of thing. But the carry's in there, needs to be careful. Pretty low. Uh-oh, retreating through a bunch of melee attacks. Goes down right near his base. Should get revived, but that's pretty damn annoying because someone's going to need to travel a relative distance to get to him. Relatively long distance, I should say. Looks like Zeno is on the way. Asterix, meanwhile, still has the Sentinel up. Shuriken Cannon on the field for their TodesKnopf. Expect, I would think, a bunch of setup teams to try and control these narrow corridors of the space. So a pretty nice map, I think. Made by Max Power quite a while ago now. Blue team are going to cap mid, it looks like. Yep. Zeno doing well. How will the Farseer react? She's just kind of hanging out right now. Now moving forward. She does start with the fleet ability, so she's decent mobility for her. West side, some Nurgle worship. Plague Champion is shooting away. Does have his Blight Grenades up. Double CSM. Some Heretics. All that good Nurgly stuff. Multi-laser turret taking shots. Shouldn't be too much of a problem from cover here. Sentinel with no ground pound. So could afford to be a bit more aggressive with the Heretics maybe, but that's how you get your Heretics killed in Drid. That's why your Heretics always die. Farseer gets away again. Looks like she stayed in just the right amount of time. We've got double scouts up with shotguns and Devastators for Tenso. He's really going to try and control this melee stuff. You can't suppress or knock over the Hive Tyrant, but you'll do a whole bunch of damage if he gets close to the heavy bolter. Ravener Brood. I guess he was expecting a Devastator squad. Gets a, I guess you could call it a jump troop, but they actually burrow strike to disrupt them. Should allow him to get in quite nicely. He's going to burrow strike the Devastator to kick it off, and then I guess send in the Hive Tyrant because they don't want the shotguns to be able to chain a knockback on both of the Hormagaunts blobbed up. Try and get the Hive Tyrant in there first to take the brunt of it. But it's going to be tricky. It's not going to be an easy approach for YZ. Tenso's set up quite nicely here. The Apothecary is back on his feet with the customized Stormbolter to help him control the Hive Tyrant, of course, with full auto to stun that big guy. Here are those Raveners. Start off with ranged weapons these days and some pretty decent melee attacks too. East side, bashing the power node is a Shuriken. Look at this. Eldar getting up and decapping and now capping the natural victory point of the blue team. Contested in the mid, of course, and southwest holds a natural for the red team. Here comes that Hive Tyrant. Does have his warp field up and improved synapse. Two great choices in this situation, I think. Warp field just makes him tankier. Improved synapse buffs all the Tyranids around him and gives him some more health. Quite a lot more health as well, like 150 more, yeah. Doesn't tell you that there, but it does. Uh-oh, Raven is in on the Devastators here. Devastators these days have that reduced version of melee resistance, a 20% reduction instead of the usual 40% for melee resist. Are you going to cap this VP Tyranids? I guess not. Looks like one of the Hormagaunts is pretty low. Where are the Termagants? Oh, they're capping. Fair enough. He's trying to get a flank on these Imperial Guard here. Artillery spotters on the field for Zeno. Help shut down the Shuriken Cannon and such. Looks like he's spotted the Tyranids and wants to get out there. Lord Commissar's in. What do you have? You have Carapace armor. Okay. Help him break suppression on himself to get in on the Shuriken and stuff. Hormagaunts eating Imperial Guard as they run away there. Done well so far, these Imperial Guard. These are Hormagaunts, I should say. We've got, yes, adrenal glands on both. No toxin sacks. Drop pod coming in from the Tenso. Delivering some more tactical Marines that will also act as a reinforcement point on the field, which is massively useful, obviously. So it looks like the Raveners did an amazing job last time. Need to try and focus these guys down with those double attacks. Use the full auto on the Hive Tyrant and have those shotguns ready. Dropped one of his scouts though. There's a brood nest going up and then going down. Now trying to draw the Tyranids into the Devastators. Looks like YZ does not want to approach right now. Going tier 2. Maybe a Tyrant Guard coming up. That'll be fun to see. West side, meanwhile. Red team pushing up with some chaos. Havoc's up for Nooblord James. We had some light grenades on that heavy weapon team there, looks like. Plague Champion did go down though. Trying to throw his grenade. Often gets you into trouble with a very slow hero like a Plague Champion. Ravener Brood, Burrow striking in on the Devastators. Took a lot of damage, but they're in there. Now turning to engage the scouts actually. Devastators might be able to set up again though, but here comes Hormagaunts. Double Hormagaunts in fact. Devastators will be dealt with, but now the Tyranid has to fight too. Imperial Guard coming in, needs to be careful, needs to run away. Basically needs to run away. Trying to finish off the Devastators first. He got very close to it. Hormagaunts kicking some ass here. Level 2. Now they need to retreat through a whole bunch of stuff. But there's not a whole bunch of scary melee stuff, so they should be okay. For those that don't know, retreating units take 30% more damage from melee attacks, which is why retreating can be incredibly risky in a team game where you can get flanked quite a lot. There's like Psychic Storm from the Rune Armor, a new ability in Elite Mod. Very freaking good one too. You do have to channel it for the duration, but it's worth it usually. Suppression and damage over time for your other units to get in and do some work. Ogren's on the way for Zeno, a Zone Throat for YZ, and a Chaos Dreadnought already up for Nooblord James. Autocannon on that right arm. Asterix with a Manticore though, that could be nasty with Nooblord and his army packed into these tight spaces. Heavy Weapon Squad could get an anti-vehicle weapon of course to fight a Dreadnought, las cannon or an autocannon. Las cannon much more specialized, anti-vehicle. Autocannon is pretty nasty against everything, but not quite as specialized. Doesn't have that awesome speed reduction of a las cannon. Falcon is up for their TodesKnopf. 412, 408, Burrow Strike there on the Devastators. He's done pretty well approaching these Space Marines here. Hasn't really been able to focus down the Raveners quickly enough because the Hormagaunts have been getting in so fast. He's really timed the Hormagaunt push well after Burrow Striking, I feel like. It's been tough. Maybe Purification Vials would have been the way to go. You can still get them up, of course, but they kind of lose effectiveness as the game goes on because Hormagaunts can get pretty tough with melee synapse and improved synapse. No sign of melee synapse yet, but he can drop warriors in, can the Hive Tyrant. Pretty sharp power bash here from the Eldar. Falcon and triple Dire Avengers doing some work. Here's a Manticore Strike though, the first one. Got a direct hit, got 2 good hits in fact on the Falcon. There's a lot of damage to vehicles that thing. Yeah, Nooblord calls out the Manticore after it's already struck. Dreadnought could go after it. Manticores are very, very weak if you can get on them. Under 300 hit points. Any kind of anti-vehicle damage that's not going to last very long. Here's a las cannon though for this Imperial Guardsman. For those that don't know, you need to manually target each of the Manticore's rockets. Has huge range though and massive damage potential, but you do sacrifice some presence out in the field to get them up, and they aren't cheap. Look at this. Executed las cannon doing double damage and takes out the Dreadnought in 3 shots. He was not expecting that. Lord Commissar with stubbornness now in play. Kicking off mid, is it? It is kicking off mid. Big 2v2 fight here. Smite in from the Librarian. Ogren's taking the brunt of it. Hive Tyrant needs to try and get into the back lines, but it's not easy. Burrow striking Raveners did not stay on the Devastators there. The Falcon is able to provide some nice support to all this stuff, allowing it to reinforce, but those Ogren's barely taking a scratch, as you can see. Apothecary there to heal them, of course. Well, he's kind of back here. They might have healed them, I wasn't paying attention. He is missing some energy. They're chasing this Falcon. Ogren's do heavy melee damage, so they will rip apart anything they can get their hands on by just smacking it with their Ripper guns. And we got some, yeah, Melter Gun Stormtroopers. No way that thing was getting out of there. Didn't last long. The Falcon did some work though while it was up. Needs to be a little bit more careful with it in that big 2v2 fight. Just get it a little bit further back. Anticipate those Ogren's coming in a little bit better. Tier 3 for Nooblord, Tier 3 for YZ. And their TodesKnopf looking kind of depleted. I mean, he has 4 units on the field. They're all Tier 1 units. Devastators are going to go down here yet. Librarian getting stuck in, has the Force Staff. Gives him a 71 DPS power melee weapon, and that guy does inspire on kill, as you can see. That effect there whenever he smacks something. Gives him the awesome Force Barrier too. Zone throw. Backing away. Wants to try and target the Tactical Marines now that the Devastators are gone, I guess. Hive Tyrant puts up his shield, but look at this. Librarian stand up in melee very well. Hive Tyrant is now getting, though, the Crushing Claw. Not sure why it isn't called Crushing Claws, because he does get 2 of them at the front there, as you can see. Librarian might go down. That'll be a big loss for the Tenso. Looks like he's going to get away. Needs to be careful, though. Going to lose the mid, that's for sure. Apothecary goes down, though. Hive Tyrant on retreat with this 108 heavy melee DPS weapon. Level 3 now, this guy. And Tyranids are going to take the mid back, you would think. West side. Look at this contested power. Fully built up for red team. Protected by Nooblord James, who just lost a bunch of stuff. Only has Havocs and Heretics left. Completely missed what happened. Manticore is still up, so it might have had something to do with it. Ogren's are massive pain in the ass for the Eldar, of course. One of the reasons Dark Reapers were added to Elite Mod was to help Eldar combat Ogren's. So maybe we'll see some of those. Zoanthrope took out a Marine. Not bad. And these guys get the cat. Can he get another one? They're pretty low. They do retreat off there. Now taking shots on the Devastators. They're kind of spread out though. So I think that was only hitting one model, I think. Tactical Marines with a missile launcher. I guess that was purchased to help defeat the Falcon, but now it's down. Double Zoanthropes here for YZ, so that burst damage from those guys becomes twice as scary. Librarian using the Force Barrier is going to be important here, I think. The missile launcher, I think, got a direct hit on the Termagants. For those that don't know, anti-vehicle weapons typically have very poor accuracy against infantry. Coming in here and forcing off YZ is Zeno. Do we have, yep, fully reinforced Stormtroopers now. West side, power bashing is the Imperial Guard. Nooblord James needs to recover. Coming mid maybe, has an autocannon. So Asterix could do a lot here by putting a lot of pressure on that VP. He's not really in the position to defend it, is Nooblord. Nurgle's Shrine over here though. Might not last very long. Being repaired. Grenade launcher heretics need to disrupt as well. Suppressing the Commissar there, you see, is the shrine. Heretics can get blown up. Nooblord is down to a single unit on the free field. 322. 322 is evened up on VPs. There's that Psychic Storm Eldar. Did they come in time to help out here? Crushing Claw Hive Tyrant. Trying to do some work, but those Ogrins are vicious. They're getting on him and they take him down. A tier 3 Lictor now for YZ. Needs to be careful. Jumped into some trouble there. These Ogrins just tanking the piercing damage like it's nothing. Not tanking those zone throat shots quite as well though. Took a chunk off him. Blue team pushing through. Can they get a power bash out of this? Zone throat stunned. Needs to be careful. Runs away. Well, floats away I guess. They are going to get a power bash of some kind. Might not be a full bash. Eldar are still in play. Some grenades on retreat could be nasty. Trying to focus down these stormtroopers. It looks like it's a good target to take. Lictor gets a flesh hook and kills one. Does have a heavy melee weapon, Lictor. Big threat to everything. That was a weird jump. More Devastators for Tenso. Got some Stern Guard veterans too. Using their Hellfire rounds. These guys are first company tactical marines. Can change their ammo to combat all targets. You can only get one in your army. Don't want to take zone throat shots though. And these guys fleeting forward for grenades, I guess. Do we see some? We do not see any. Were they out of energy? What happened there? Great Unclean One on the way for Nooblord James. Also got some more heretics up. Manticore Strike sees a big retreat there. They didn't have fleet available to get out of it, I guess. 322-204. Triple cap for blue team. West side has kind of collapsed here. Nooblord now trying to retake things. Not sure if Asterix quite knows how depleted James is. It's not always easy to tell in game. Doesn't have access to the information that we do when he was playing. Still that triple cap. There's that smoke shell. He's trying to get close for a grenade. There it is. Telegraphed it, but still hits the spotters there. Lord Commissar level 3. Will happily fight those heretics. Here's the Farseer all the way from the east side to try and help get this cap. Avatar of Cain on the way for their TodesKnopf. Down goes the Farseer. Should get revived. And there's a Great Unclean One forcing retreat from all that stuff. Red team are capping mid. Here come the Space Marines back. Are we going to see that Land Raider up? Does get that relatively late tier 3 to Tenso there. But now he can save up. Stern Guard are going to try to cap. It's going to be risky though. Double zone throats there. This might be a big shot. Boom. Wow, took like a third of their hit points there. Here comes some Imperial Guard though. The Ogrin is still looking like a big threat right now. Ouch. Stern Guard getting wrecked over there. What is this? I don't know what that is. Oh, it's a Singularity. He's got a D-cannon. And that's an orbital bombardment from the Tenso. Gonna get a bunch of the Tyranids off the field if nothing else. They are retreating, so they should be okay. Unless they get hit into another blast. Wow. Did more damage than I thought. Took out the zone throw, that's for sure. The Hormagaunts here barely escape. Now some suppression for the Ogrins to deal with. They haven't really had to deal with this yet. And the Great Unclean One's there to fight them. This guy passively damages nearby units constantly. Has some other nasty abilities as well. You saw the foul snare there, I believe. Sees the Ogrins off. Red team staying in play. That's a rocket run though. Ouch. I guess from Zeno. Not entirely sure. Manticore Strike as well. Great Unclean One's got a lot of stuff to tank, and it's a Leman Russ with Vanquisher. 322 to 37. Red team don't have a lot of time here. Lictor trying to mix it up. I need support. Needs to be careful. Got stunned by something. I guess it was full auto. Does get away. Chaos Terminator is hitting the field. Improved medical equipment is up for the Apothecary. There's that Farseer again. Can they get the Apothecary down here? Ravener should have been on him in melee. Didn't have a lot of time to react there, to be honest, to be fair. 322 18. Looks like red team are going to stop it with a 1-to-1. But they are cutting it very, very close here. Carnifex on the field for YZ. I think, yeah, get the Barb Strangler up. Give those Ogrins a hell of a lot to worry about now. You have to get past... Oh, the Shuriken's down. So yeah, that Barb Strangler is going to be really important, I think. Look at this though for red team all of a sudden. Avatar, Carnifex, Terminators, Great Unclean One. Some powerful heroes too. Fully kitted out Hive Tyrant. Farseer, Psychic Storm can make a big difference. What about you, Mr. Plague Champion? You're level 4. Armor of Pestilence still has those grenades. Could get the fist up to help cap in too. This is a lot of VPs to make up for the red team. Red team needs to push against their natural here. And that is mostly Asterix responsibility on this side. Looks like he's going after it with some guardsmen back up. They have their Commissar leader and some plasma guns. Predator tank and Leman Russ tank now in mid. Fist of Brockus for Zeno's Lord Commissar, Carapace and Aura of Discipline. Could be a pretty crazy end game fight in the mid here. What do you have, Terminators? Auto cannon is up. There's that Barb Strangler. Like a nasty suppressing plasma cannon on a giant alien. That was a regular D-cannon shot you saw there. That is nasty. He's taking shots, but should be okay. Some Nurgle worship here to help heal up this Great Unclean One. It's going to take a while, as you can see. Seems to be healing very, very slowly from that. Oh, they're worshipping the shrine. That's why they're not actually worshipping. He doesn't get the benefit of the shrine heal. It should be just straight up worshipping right now. Another D-cannon for their TodesKnopf. Very good tool to use to stop caps, of course. Will pull Terminators and stuff off also. Lictor has to jump away. Spotted by those scouts. And blue team are pushing. Just trying to get that cap. All kicking off here. We have a Venom Cannon Hive Tyrant. Manticore Strike goes in. Tanked by the Great Unclean One. There's that foul snare on the Apothecary and it goes down. Good snipe by the Great Unclean One. Some flanking Imperial Guard. There's the None Shall Fall from the Fist of Brockus. Not really anything around to benefit from it. The Lord Commissar himself obviously doesn't benefit. Doesn't get away. Been a good engagement so far from the red team. Don't want to lose the Avatar though. Killing a bunch of stuff. Taking down 2 of the heroes. Great Unclean One here chasing this fella off. Asterix is Lord Commissar. Also has the Fist of Brockus. 2-1-6-15. Red team holding out. Red team are holding out, and smart play from their TodesKnopf has some defenses over on their natural victory point on the other side, set up with shields and stuff. Red team could hold out here for a while at least. Maybe not the whole game. Boom. Wow, that Barb Strangler is doing some work. Carnifex already leveling up. 200 to 15. Some dead Ogrins. The Ogrins wiped, in fact. Looks like they got this far. Double Leman Russes, one from each player. Both with Vanquish Shard. They will do a lot of damage to a Carnifex, but trying to stand and trade when there's this much stuff in such a tight area is tough. We do have some regular worship going on now, as well as worship in the shrine itself, which will allow you to reinforce off it. Your allies too. 177, 15. Another Carnifex on the way for YZ. And why not? Another Barb Strangler, I say. You might want a Venom Cannon though against all these vehicles, but double Barb Stranglers going in would be crazy. Stormtroopers getting some power bashing on. And some capping, I guess. Looks like Red Team are really focusing mid. They have to. They have 15 VPs left. Another Leman Russ on the way for Zeno. Glorious healing indeed. At what level is this surviving zone threat? Level 3. Blue Team going in. Should have waited for more backup, I think. Guess I don't want to wait that long. Lord Commissar, is that Doom? Yes, Doombringer is up. Doom on the Lord Commissar. Didn't take that much damage though. There's Time Field. 144 to 15. Big team fights now. Nice singularity, just gibbing a bunch of Imperial Guardsmen, or jibbing, however you say it. They got the decap. 144 to 15, but they should be able to get it back here. Hive Tyrant is right there. Doesn't have a lot of health. Plague Champion has the Plague Fist. Awesome capping tool because of Pestilent Strike. Brilliant Clean has been used very well so far. 144 to 15 still with that 1-to-1 cap. Red Team are rebuffing the Blue Team whenever they move in though. They really were able to quickly get up a tanky and dangerous force with an Avatar and a Grand Clean one and Terminators and Carnifexes. That's tough. Tough to push through. Looks like Nooblord has now too many heretics than they wanted. I know the feeling. 2-to-1 is back in play. It's a bunch of tanks. They need to try and focus fire though on one thing at a time to bring it down. Can't be spreading those shots out. Time Field again. Massive, massive deal here. Time Field is an amazing tool to use on this map in this kind of situation. More scouts on the way for the Tenso to help repair stuff, I imagine. Apothecary is not going to survive this decap. Wasn't that smart to try there, I don't think. 114, 15. No real attempt made on this natural victory point here. They took enough stuff over there. I mean, it's only Dire Avengers and Rangers. Take a tank over there, what are they going to do? They are fixated on the mid. Here comes a Baneblade for Asterix. It might be too late though. But Commissar now trying to get a cap. Or at least a decap. Might be able to do so. Manticore strikes. Does get the decap but cannot get away. Terminator's taking a lot of damage now. Needs to get back to that shrine to reinforce. Not going to be cheap. Hive Tyrant level 6. Doing a lot of damage with that Venom Cannon. Look at that. Big shots. Pushing against the tanks pretty well. What's this second Carnifex got then? He's getting a Venom Cannon, which is smart, I guess. He's taking a lot of damage though, which is not smart. Hive Tyrant is capping. Can he get a cap? I think Red Team might be able to hold on all the way here. Look at this though. We do have some spotters and some guardsmen trying to harass this VP, trying to get the decap. Might see a grenade thrown. There it is. Does it wipe them? Nope. They are level 3 spotters. They should not have... I guess they should have retreated actually. With heretics coming in, they should have. Can they get those guardsmen? Just 2 squad leaders left. They get away. 82-15. Defended the VP. Didn't get a decap or anything. Look at this stuff here. How do you get through this? Need some just need really good nukes, I think. Land Raider would have been a massive deal if he saved for that instead of getting a tank. Would have made a big difference, I think. 71-15. And then just kind of focused on Devastators and Marines to get las cannons and stuff. That's a singularity, I think. It is. Can the red team get this cap back? Where is the Plague Champion at? Here he comes. Level 7. So many tanks. They haven't really done a lot though. It hasn't been easy for them to focus down these large targets. Avatar's still around. Great and Clean One's still around. Has one of the Carnifexes gone down? No, it's back here. Healing up very slowly though. They're not getting the benefit from the shrine. Obviously can't repair those things. Might be time for one last push for the blue team. Uh-oh. Baneblade on the west side. There is an autocannon, but that alone is going to take a long time to kill a Baneblade. Lord Commissar's there. He needs to put his shield up. He got some stormtroopers too infiltrated, getting onto the Havocs, in fact tying them up so they can't fire. That is a rocket run. Some friendly fire on the stormtroopers. Takes them out, in fact. Takes them out. They might get this cap though. Surely they will. Are they going to divert some stuff? Not right now. They're holding off the blue team in mid still. 34 to 15. Something is on the cap on the southwestern VP. There's a decap. It's guardsmen and spotters here. Uh-oh. Chaos Terminator's appearing out of nowhere with autocannon closing for melee on the Baneblade. Great Unclean One too, and the Plague Champion himself. This is his side. Time field there. Not stopping the cap, but that's an Eldritch. All sorts of stuff going on. Baneblade I think is going to be done for here. It's a lot of anti-vehicle. And the Farseer could put Doom on it. Maybe? Doesn't even need to. Just going to get beaten down over there. Nice attempt by Asterix. But I don't think a Baneblade was the thing to take there. You take the Baneblade mid. You don't want the Baneblade pushed forward like that. Cut off from support. I mean, it's going to be great in the initial attack, obviously. But as soon as something comes that's a big threat to it, you can't really get out of there. Just like a big infantry army, build up a big infantry army and take it there, I think would have done a little bit better, but you still would have had to face the Great and Clean One and Terminators, so not exactly easy. 21 to 15, red team are going to hold on here, I think. In a constant fight in the mid. Some plasma cannons maybe from the Tenso would have been great. Here comes the Land Raider, it's too late though. I think some more plasma cannons, some more setup teams with las cannons and the like. They haven't really dealt with these large targets very well. Thinking they could do it with mass tanks, but it wasn't really the case. They traded kind of poorly here. There's going to be the game, and there it is. Let's look at his heroes end of the game. At a level 4 Lord Commissar, a level 5 Apothecary. Did have the armor of the Apothecary at the end, level 5 Commissar also for Asterix. A level 8 Plague Champion in amongst his Terminators there, getting very cozy. Level 8 Hive Tyranid did a great job, this player, in mid YZ. And the TodesKnopf with a Farseer. Got her groove on late. Runes of Reaping, Armor of the Assyrian, and Doombringer in play. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.